first Oscar ceremony I think I remember watching was when Platoon won Best Picture in like 86 or 87. I have been a nerd for a very, very long time. Hey guys, Mac here. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel, whatever it may be. Whatever it is, I am glad you're here because tonight we are wrapping up the pre-Academy Award coverage. Because this is the last video I'm going to put up before the ceremony. And then I'm going to put one up after the ceremony. But this is the last one before the ceremony. And tonight I'm going to do some squeezing in. All right, we're going to be taking 4 categories and just shoving them in as quickly as possible. So it's kind of a rapid fire. But I feel that these categories are necessary before going into Oscar night itself. But before we get started, please, as always, like, share, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, share me on Instagram, share me on Facebook, share me on Twitter, whatever you got. Let people know that I have done some extensive Oscar research and some extensive Oscar coverage so they can get the leg up in their Oscar parties, if you will. You know the drill, and I thank you for it. I am going to talk about 4 categories tonight. Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Original Screenplay. I decided to do the screenplay ones because a lot of times the film that is recognized with the Best Original Screenplay is sometimes really the best picture of the year. So it's sometimes referred to as the Citizen Kane Award. Citizen Kane won Best Screenplay, but did not win Best Picture, and it's literally like one of the best movies, if not the best movie of all time. So it will be similar to what I've already done before. I'll talk a little bit about the nominees, then give my picks of what will win and what should win, and I'll do that for all 4 categories. We'll wrap it up in a nice little bow, and then you guys are on your way to watch the Oscars with all of this new knowledge that I have given you. All right, well, we're going to start with Best Supporting Actor, and the nominees are Tom Hanks for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Anthony Hopkins for The Two Popes, Al Pacino for The Irishman, Joe Pesci for The Irishman, and Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I still have not seen The Two Popes, sorry, so I can't comment on Anthony Hopkins' performance. However, I have seen every other movie on this list. So, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, as you know, was on my top 10. Part of the reason it's on my top 10 is because of Tom Hanks putting in such an amazing performance as Fred Rogers. Maybe doesn't look like him, but embodied that spirit absolutely 100%. Joe Pesci and Al Pacino in The Irishman. I'm glad they both got nominated because both roles are very different, but still very, very good. Al Pacino is a little flashier role as Jimmy Hoffa. And then Joe Pesci actually plays one of his most restrained characters I've ever seen him play on screen. But for these guys to be doing this in their 70s is just phenomenal. And really, what more can I say about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, except for the fact that Brad Pitt is probably the best performance in it, mainly for the last 20 to 30 minutes. I will not give anything away if you haven't seen it, but if you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about, how great Brad Pitt was in those last minutes. Okay, so here's my picks. What will win and what should win. I'm going boring again. I believe Brad Pitt will win and should win for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He has been sweeping on the award circuit this year, and it's well-deserved. He has not won an Oscar yet for acting, and I think it's well overdue, and he's going to get it. All right, let's move on to Best Supporting Actress, and the nominees are Kathy Bates for Richard Jewell, Laura Dern for Marriage Story, Scarlett Johansson for Jojo Rabbit, Florence Pugh for Little Women, and Margot Robbie for Bombshell. Okay, I've seen all of these as well. Kathy Bates was mesmerizing in Richard Jewell, what I consider to be a very underrated film of the past year. Laura Dern in Marriage Story. Whew. It's hard to make a character so likable and so absolutely despicable at the same exact time, and she does it. As you know, Jojo Rabbit was not one of my favorite films, but Scarlett Johansson definitely was really the dramatic center of that film. Florence Pugh, Little Women, man, I've talked a lot about Little Women, how much I love it, and Florence Pugh is a standout. She presents a different take on the character of Amy than I think has been portrayed in the past, and a character that's definitely overshadowed by her sister and the relationship that her sister has in the beginning of this movie. Never to a point where it was annoying enough that you get angry at her. And Margot Robbie for Bombshell. Yeah, she was fine. Just like Charlize Theron was. I just don't get why she was nominated. I mean, it's a good movie, but it's not a fantastic movie. And it's a good performance. It's not a fantastic performance. I didn't say anything that stood out to me. It's cool seeing Margot Robbie nominated. I really like her as an actress. So, yay. Who will win and who should win? I believe on Oscar night, Laura Dern will win for Marriage Story. She has also been sweeping the award circuit, and it's a great performance, and I'm happy for her. However, I think Florence Pugh should win for Little Women. I've said what I have to say about this movie, even though I'm going to say more a little bit later. But either way, Florence Pugh, one of the many unbelievable performances in Little Women, and I think she should win. All right, here are the nominees for Best Adapted Screenplay. We have The Irishman. We have Jojo Rabbit. We have Joker, Little Women, and The Two Popes. If I had looked ahead here, I probably would have watched The Two Popes before doing this video. Whoops! I have spoken at length about the 4 movies that I have seen nominated for Adapted Screenplay. I really can't say anymore. The Irishman is an achievement. Joker is like nothing you have seen before. Little Women, I will gush about it till the end of time. I just absolutely love it. And Jojo Rabbit is overrated. So, what will win and what should win on Oscar night? So I believe The Irishman will win Best Adapted Screenplay. I kind of think that The Irishman's going to get pushed out of a lot of other categories. I want it to be recognized for something, and I think that the Academy and its fans and its viewers want it to be recognized for something, and I think this is the one it's going to get recognized for. What I think should win Best Adapted Screenplay, I wonder what I'm going to say. Little Women, okay? And we finish up with Best Original Screenplay, the Citizen Kane Award, if you will. And the nominees for this are Knives Out, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. I've seen all 5 of these films as well. Knives Out is something that hasn't come up yet. I thought Knives Out was very good. I did not rave about it like other people did. I thought it was a good, fun mystery whodunit. And yeah, the writing was fine, but man, they drug that resolution out in that movie so long. Good for Rian Johnson, because it's a heck of a lot better than The Last Jedi. Marriage Story, like I said before, that hit me deep. And it is really amazing and unbelievably well written. 1917, sorry, I thought the weakest part of it was its screenplay. So, I don't know. I know I'm in the minority here, and I just did not connect to that movie on an emotional level. And the screenplay was nothing special for me. I've already sung the praises of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's great, snappy dialogue, and it's just wonderful, setting. And doing this with the backdrop of the Manson murders and Sharon Tate, it's just something only Tarantino could write and pull off, and he just does it unbelievably well. And then there's Parasite. Unlike anything you've ever seen, and I'm just super impressed, and I can't wait to watch that one again. So, what will win and what should win on Oscar night? I think you're going to be surprised by my picks. I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood will win the Oscar, and it's well-deserved. Quentin Tarantino, thumbs up, and you know how much I love this movie. However, I would really love to see Parasite take this. Parasite was unlike anything I have seen before, and it was so captivating and unique and innovative, and I would love to see this thing win Best Screenplay. As much as I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite hit me a little bit harder, just with being as new and as unique as it was. All right, that wraps up my pre-Academy Award coverage for the Oscars 2020. Whew, man, I'll tell you, lots and lots of stuff to talk about here. But here's the great thing, they're categories that I missed, they're nominees that I missed. You guys have any comments on some of those? Maybe Best Animated Feature, Cinematography, Best Original Score, Costume Design, Makeup and Hairstyling. If you have anything you want to add, any of your predictions, throw them in the comments and I will throw back what I think is going to win, if I agree or disagree. There's a lot of conversation we can have before Sunday, and I would love to hear what you guys think. So we have come to the end. Next time I see you guys, it will be a recap of the Academy Awards 2020, which, as we have now found out, will again be hostless. So we'll see how it goes for a second year in a row. But until then, please do not forget to like, share, subscribe. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I am posting things up there as often as I can. Just finished Watchmen, the TV series. I definitely put something up about that. Still watching Picard. So, check it out. You can see my Twitter for all things entertainment. But until I come back with the Oscar Recap 2020, this is Mac saying thank you, and I am out.